Hello, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. I see from your clinical request that you're with these designs, you're having a unexpected overrefraction, and you have some questions regarding the pupil size. Well, if we look at the overall lens, I understand this patient is going from soft to a rigid lens, and it sounds like you've won half the battle if the lenses are comfortable. But I think what's happening with the vision and the weird overrefraction, if we look at your design, first of all, if we look at the topography, you'll see I have definitely a very toric cornea. As you know, there's about 2.5 to 3 diopters of cylinder on there. And one of the things I noticed when you look at your design here, if you remember the lower right-hand view and the quad view is what Wave recognizes as the corneal topography. And if you notice that, that lower right picture does not look a whole lot like this actual topography. So I suspect when you opened up this case to design a lens, you chose the average astigmatism, which sounds like a great thing, but what I find sometimes it sort of hides the true story here in the cornea. So what happened probably, Wave looked at this cornea, and when Wave was trying to design the lens, it missed the corneal cylinder. So instead it tried to put the refractive cylinder onto the front surface of the lens, and in that case you probably ended up with a little bit of a weird overrefraction and probably some uh, compounding cylinder axes that go along with it, and that's what it looks like happened with your overrefraction. So I took the liberty here to sort of just open up a new lens. In this case, I did not average the astigmatism. I just had it open up the Wave software, and you'll notice right away that that lower topography in the right-hand corner looks a lot more like your actual topography of the cornea. So in this case, I think what will happen is Wave will redesign the lens and more appropriately match the cylinder with the true cylinder in the cornea. I think if you just reopen up this lens and redesign a lens starting from scratch using your overrefraction, I think that'll solve a lot of your power issue, and then you can get a much more accurate overrefraction, and that'll make more sense to you. As far as the pupil size, I tend to look at when I'm fitting these things for the first time, I look at the dominant eye and usually go about 1 millimeter larger than the pupil in the dominant eye, and the non-dominant I go about 1/2 millimeter larger. So I use that as kind of a starting point and then adjust from there. Obviously in this case, since you have the weird overrefraction, anything to do with the pupil is kind of irrelevant until you get the overrefraction portion fixed. So I would concentrate on redesigning the lens from scratch. Do not average out the astigmatism in this case, and I think that will probably get you much closer on the final result. Well, I hope that helps you out. I wish you well with this case, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. Have a great day.